Namaste, fellow warriors. I've been working on my survival book lately, and I realized through looking into my journal notes that I went through and continue to realize that there are themes of the grieving process. Each one of us eventually work through the 5 stages of grief, living through this medical trauma, much like the loss of a loved one, except it is the loss of our prior selves. Here are the 5 common stages of grief: denial, numbness and shock, bargaining, persistent thoughts about what could have been done or what if ideas. Survivor's guilt can also play into this part of the grieving cycle. Depression. In this stage, we begin to realize and feel the extent of our losses. For me, it was my awareness of the changes with close relationships, varying energy levels daily, and having to say no to events and activities I once could do and enjoy. The 4th part of the cycle is anger, a very common stage of grief. It happens when we feel helpless and powerless. Anger may stem from a feeling of abandonment due to this loss of your prior self. Finally, the final stage is acceptance. In time, we can come to terms with all the emotions and feelings we experience from this loss that happened to us. I've gone through each one of these stages almost in this order, although it is completely normal to jump from one to another without an exact order. When I finally grasped that my feelings were authentic and warranted, much like the stages of grief that comes from losing someone you love, I was able to identify and validate the rainbow of feelings I have experienced over the last 2 years of my ongoing recovery process. In closing, I hope all of you have a great Thanksgiving with your family and friends. If you do not mind, please share below which stages of grief you have experienced or which ones you are currently working through. Let's work together to conquer our challenges by communicating in this group questions or moments that we are dealing with collectively. Love to all of you, and rock on, warriors.